Welcome back, viewers. You're watching the Savera and I'm Shefali. US President Donald Trump, during his meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky at the White House, reportedly stated that India has significantly reduced its oil imports from Russia and was in the process of winding down its purchase altogether. Trump suggested that New Delhi has taken steps to de-escalate its dependence on Russian energy, a move he claimed would contribute positively to efforts aimed at ending the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict. According to Trump, India has earlier scored around 38% of its oil from Russia but was now pulling back from these imports. He reportedly told journalists that India was not going to buy Russian oil anymore and that the country had more or less stopped doing so. He added that he had been assured that India's gradual withdrawal from Russian energy supplies would be completed soon, even though such transitions could not happen overnight. The US President was quoted as saying that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has conveyed to him that India would no longer be purchasing Russian crude. Trump claimed that Modi has explained the process would take some time due to existing supply and contractual arrangements, but emphasized that the shift away from Moscow was already underway. Trump further said that once India stopped buying Russian oil, it would make it much easier to end the war in Ukraine. He suggested that India might resume energy trade with Russia only once the war concluded. Trump also reportedly praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi, describing him as a great man and lauded India as an incredible country, highlighting its growing role on the global stage and the strength of US-Indian ties. However, his remarks have sparked confusion and diplomatic clarification in New Delhi. The Ministry of External Affairs firmly denied that any such telephonic conversation had taken place between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Trump. When asked about Trump's comments, Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Randeep Jaiswal stated during a routine media briefing that there had been no recent discussion between the two leaders. He said, regarding the comment from the US, no, on the energy issue, we already have issued a statement which you can say refer to. As for the telephonic conversation, I can say that there has been no discussion between the Prime Minister and President Trump. India, which began importing discounted Russian oil in large quantities following the outbreak of the Russian-Ukraine war, had consistently defended its decision on the grounds of national interest and energy security. Indian officials have emphasized that the country's energy policy is guided by considerations of affordability, accessibility, and diversification. While the US had been pressing India and other nations to cut energy ties with Moscow, New Delhi has maintained that it will act in accordance with its strategic and economic needs. Despite this, India had been exploring ways to diversify its energy imports. The Commerce Ministry recently indicated that India could increase its import of crude oil and natural gas from the United States by up to $12 to $13 billion annually without any major modifications to its refinery system. The ministry further underlined that India's diversification efforts depend largely on cost competitiveness and long-term supply assurances. Trump's latest remarks come at a time when senior Indian trade delegation is in Washington for the next round of trade negotiations with US officials. The talks are expected to focus on expanding bilateral trade, addressing tariff issues, and exploring cooperation in energy and technology sectors. The development also followed recent diplomatic engagements in New Delhi, where the new US ambassador to India, Sergio Jor, held meetings with Prime Minister Modi, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, and National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. The discussions reportedly covered a broad range of topics, including strategic cooperation, trade relations, and global energy security. Meanwhile, observers note that Trump's comment could have implications for both the diplomatic narrative around India's energy choices and the ongoing trade discussions between the two countries. Analysts believe that while Washington continues to pressure India to reduce energy ties with Moscow, New Delhi is likely to maintain a balanced approach that safeguards its economic interest while keeping strategic relations with the United States on a positive trajectory. That's all for now in this update. Stay tuned to the Savera. Download the app and follow us on various social media platforms.